If you're as concerned about your budget as you are about air quality, the Awair Element may be a device you want to look at. Hey guys, Chris Young here from HomeKit Geek, the channel. We bring you new smart home content every single week. If that sounds like it might interest you, do me a favor, consider subscribing below. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Awair Element. So this was comped to me by Awair. It's important to me that you guys know that, just in case you think it affects my opinion. So I have been a fan of the Awair devices for a while, and one of the things I love about them is the display. Nice, easy to see across the room, really simple. You don't need to check your phone. I like that. But one of the problems with the Awair devices, the Gen 1, Gen 2, although they are beautiful with that wood finish, they're expensive, topping over $200. So the Awair Element, although it does not have that nice wood finish, this is coming at around $150, I believe, last time I looked. So it's within the price range of most people for what is really an amazing air quality sensor. Let's check it out. So the Awair Element is the latest addition in the air quality sensor line from Awair. This is a Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz, and it includes all the sensors you're going to need to ensure that your respiratory health, your air quality is as good as it can be. This includes temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide, volatile organic compounds, and particulate matter 2.5. So the Awair Element is a great looking device, really in line with the design I've come to expect from Awair, and it is $50 less than its big brother, the Awair Gen2, which has that nice wooden look and feel. And this really rounds out the consumer line, where you can also get the smart plug, which is the Glow C. So Awair also has their commercial line in the Omni products, which we're not going to really look at in this video, but they do have a full spectrum of devices. So the Awair Element comes in the typical Awair packaging, really clearly marked. You can see exactly what is on the box. You can see what you're getting into, and it is for homes, businesses, and more. So it's really whatever space you want to put it in, you can do that. If you want to understand, for instance, how CO2 is affecting your boardrooms, your conference rooms, right? It's really up to you. Again, everything clearly marked on the side of the box. Works with Google Assistant, works with Amazon's Madam A. Opening up the box, you can see here it's well packaged. It's not going to move around in the shipping at all, which is nice. And of course, they provide you all the power supplies and the cabling. This is USB-C powered. So if you do have USB cables, USB-C cables extra, you could potentially be using those here. And it's USB powered, which means that if you want to do something like use one of the VocalLink power bars or the TP Casa-Link, you can actually power it off of that as well if you've already got something there. So let's power this on and get it set up. You can see in the Awair app here, I'm already good to go. We're just going to tap on that plus. So really simple process. They've really got the onboarding. I like their onboarding process. We click on the Awair Personal. Obviously for business, if you are a business customer, you could add your devices through that as well. Simple as putting in the username and password for your Wi-Fi. Click the join button and you will connect to your Wi-Fi. Again, 2.4 gigahertz only. So if you've only enabled 5 gigahertz, this won't work for you. Something to be aware of. As we go through the continue button, we're going to take through the device through the rest of the setup process. So what room is this actually going to go in? So in my case, I'm going to have to create a new room for it because this is going to go in my living room. So the room type is going to be living room, and then we're going to have to change the name of the room as well from my room to living room. So again, the room type and the name of the room are not necessarily the same thing, which if you looked closely, you can see that I made that mistake and then fixed it in the edit. So now that the room is the right room, great. Now let's just name it. So in my case, I'm just going to call it Awair Element. I don't have more than one of these. And then we're going to customize the Awair Element. In my case, this is just for general usage, but if you have your spaces for productivity, your spaces for sleeping, again, they have different, they're tracking different characteristics and have modeled different characteristics from an air standpoint for each of those room types, which is nice. Again, they do a really great job, I find, as well on education as to what all these things mean to you. That's one of the things I really appreciate about Awair in general, is that they go out of their way not just to give us guidance as to, hey, how is the air actually doing? But they also show us why we should care about these things. And I believe that that is really important. I think we don't spend enough time in general on air quality and understanding how it affects our health, our family's health, all those kinds of things. So kudos to Awair on that. So again, getting back to the device here, you can see on the back of the device, there is the display. So there's a toggle button. There is not the knock function like on the full-on Awair Gen2. Again, we're going to have to go in here, change the temperature settings, in my case to Celsius, because I would like it to be that. We might want to adjust the LED settings. So for instance, if this is going into a bedroom, you can make it so that it will turn itself off. The LED, the screen will turn itself off at night. Another thing we love to see here, firmware updates. So we won't make you watch that. But I will point out in the background, you can see there that it said loading, and you can actually watch the progress bars on the Awair Element creep up. Once that's done, it will reboot and we will see the upgrading is there. It is now connected. And in general, it's just a really, really simple experience. We'll wait for this to connect back. There we go. 92 is a good score. A little bit of CO2. Maybe I might want to open a window. And to me, that's the value of Awair and products like Awair, is that it just gives us that little bit of insight that helps us be a little bit more productive, a little bit better, just a better version of ourselves in general. So looking at the Awair app here, you can see, again, really clean, really simple to understand. Right now, my score is pretty well. I can go in and I can look at my tips and see how things are trending, right? My air has been good for 87% of the time. Why was it ever poor? Was it fair? You know, these kinds of things. I had an incident earlier today where a cleaning oven, my Awair went off and suddenly my scores were pretty bad. And it reminded me to go upstairs and actually turn on the fan to get all that exhaust out. So my PM 2.5 was really high. Looking here, you can see that it actually went down to an Awair score of 72.4. Right, which is not great. And going through the list, we can see kind of what happened. And looking here, look at that, 969.3, all the way up in the red. Not good. Don't want to be breathing that. And again, Awair made me aware of that and allowed me to go up and say, hey, let's go turn on that the exhaust fan on top of my oven, my range fan, and was able to exhaust that and clear out the air before my kids got home, which is even more important to me. And of course, there's also a landscape mode for you data nerds who want to dig in and see how things have been going over a period of time. The last thing I wanted to point out is that there are skills for both Madam A, the Amazon ecosystem, as well as Google Assistant. So either one of those, you're going to be able to ask questions of your digital assistant and see how the air is going. No news on HomeKit support yet, but I'm still holding out hope. I'm hoping. And that brings us to the end. So all in all, the Awair Element, there's no surprise here for me. I've had experience with Awair devices before, and again, it delivers on all my expectations, and I mean that in the best possible way. It gives you great insight. You can see it across the room. Integrations into Amazon as well as Google Assistant. Really everything you need to get some good insight into what's going on in your spaces. What do you guys think? Do you like the new aesthetic? Is the price drop compared to the Awair Gen2? Is it enough to get you in the door now? Get you to pick one of these up? Let me know in the comments below. If there's any questions that I haven't addressed, also put those below and I'll be happy to get those to you as quick as I can.